Today I want to show you something that I use often, and that's an invoice that I've created within Excel. And I've done this so that I don't have to spend a lot of money on a fancy program to create an invoice for me. I can do this right within Excel, and all I have to do is I have this template here called invoice, and I also have a products tab below here that's got a few products in here to show you how we can create this. And so what we're going to do is we're going to come over here and we're going to put in a formula using the VLOOKUP, which means a vertical lookup, to help us to go look up these item numbers and return the description and the unit price for each one of those products. This will help save time by just having to enter just the item number and nothing else other than the quantity. And it'll also keep you from putting in the wrong description or maybe the wrong price. So as long as you keep your product table up to date, your information here will be very accurate and it'll be very quick and easy. So let's go ahead and put in a formula here. So we're going to go up to our formula bar and we're going to choose the VLOOKUP. And it's asking you, what do you want to look up? We want to look up the item. So that would be what's in C23. Next, it wants to know what's the table array that you're looking at. Well, our table is going to be down here on the products tab. And we're just going to go ahead and grab all of the information that's in that table. And next it wants to know the column number. And what they mean by that is column A is 1, column B is 2, column C is 3. So in this case, we're looking for the description, which is in column B. So we want to put in 2. Now it wants to know, do you want true or false in your logical range lookup? Well, if you use true, it's going to look at your table. And if it finds an answer, it's going to put your description in there. If it doesn't find an exact match, it's going to put what's the closest match to that. Now, I've never used true. I always use false because in the situation with false, if it doesn't find a match, it'll just put NA there. And that's what I want because I don't want it to put a random thing in there. I just want the exact answer. So we're going to type false in here. And then we're going to hit enter, and now you'll see that it has filled in the description for that product number. So what I want to do is to be able to drag this down so it automatically does it for all of the descriptions on this particular invoice. And it's filled them in okay, but you'll see it has some of these NAs in here. And what you can't really see is it up here in our original formula. If you look up here at the top, it was looking at C23 for the item number, and it was going to the products table, which was A1 to C6. If we go into the next description, now it's looking at A2 to C7, so it's shifted where our products table is, and we don't want it to do that. So we need to make an absolute reference to that product table so it always looks at A1 through C6. And to do that, we're going to click in to where it shows the table. So where it says A1, we want it to have a $A, a $1, which means it's always going to look at column A, row 1. We want it to also say $, with the C and the 6 on the next part of it because we want it to always go from A1 to C6. Now we could type those $signs in, or I can on my Mac do a Control T and it fills them in for me. On a PC, it's going to be an F4. Same thing with the C6. I can do a Control T to get a $sign before the column and before the row. And now, no matter where I drag that to, it's only going to keep that A1 to C6. So I'm going to hit enter and I'm going to drag this back down. And you're not really going to see a difference when you look at this, but now if we go into the second formula, you can see it kept A1 to C6. The next one has A1 to C6. It keeps that all the same. Now to get rid of this NA, because it really doesn't look professional on here, we're going to do something a little bit differently. We're going to go up to the beginning of this formula and we're going to put an if statement there. So we're going to say if, and then we have to put a parentheses when we're going to reference a cell. So if C23 equals blank, and to put blank in here, we're going to do the quote. So it means there's nothing between the quotes, so it's blank. So if C23 equals blank, then we're going to say leave it blank, blank, blank. Otherwise, do the VLOOKUP like we originally asked. We're going to go to the end of that formula to close our argument with another parentheses and hit enter. Now when I fill this down, it'll take all those NAs out of there, so it looks much cleaner and much more professional. Now let's go over and get the unit price in there. So we're going to do exactly the same thing. We're going to double click on the VLOOKUP. What do we want to look up? We want to look up the item number. Where's the table we want to look it up in? It's under products. We're going to grab all of our information from the products. What column do we want? Now this time we want column 3 because that's where the price is. And once again, we're going to put false in the bottom. So here it pulled it in. We're going to drag all these down. And again, we need to go change that cell reference for that table to be absolute with the Command T. We're going to do the same thing here with the Command T or Control or an F4 on your PC. And then we also, well, I can drag it down and show you. So that it took care of that, and now we want to go back in the beginning and say if C23 equals blank, then blank, otherwise do the VLOOKUP. Close that argument and hit enter. And now when we drag these down, all those NAs will go away. And now because those formulas are still in here, you just don't see them unless you look in the formula bar. We can add other items. So if I would say now I want to add some more lemon lip balm, let's put in that product number, and you can see it has filled in this information, automatically pulled in the price, and it puts the total here and totals it at the bottom. So I hope that you can find this information useful. And if you like what you've seen here, please subscribe so you can get the rest of my tutorials that'll be coming up. And let me know if there's some other things that you would like to see, and I will make some different tutorials on that information as well. So thanks again for watching, and have a great day.